Geo Space. Welcome to the agenda video for August 31st, 2020. A reminder that you have until Sunday this week to complete all of the items I'm about to go over. Also, a lot of these items I'm going to be going over in class with more specific instructions, and so make sure that you attend both of our scheduled meeting times this week. So here we go. Google Classroom, 4 items as always. More specific instructions are on the website and in this video, but also going to be shared in the synchronous time. So I head to Google Sites, Geo Space. Here is the weekly agenda. Learning target, still the same, right? We're getting still understanding expectations, but now we're going to demonstrate, hopefully, scientific process and be able to apply that knowledge to actually solve a challenge. Which I will go over. But first, item number 1 is signing up to share your profile slides. Okay, so the first day we meet this week, I will have volunteers share. Everyone should be ready, but in the interest of time, I made a sign-up sheet so that people could kind of just fill in down. That is on Google Classroom. You can click on it. Looks like this or similar to this, depending on your period. Again, Monday or Tuesday we'll have volunteers, and then the weeks and meetings after that, you can just pick a time, put your name down, and I'll make sure to get you checked off on that day. So that is item number 1. As easy as that. Item number 2 is to start looking over, here's number 2, the topics that we're going to be covering this year in Geospace, and there's a lot of them. You can follow the instructions on this Padlet in order to complete item number 2. And so the prompt is explore the many different topics we learn about, pick 2 of the topics from this Padlet, and then comment on them. In your comment, you also want to include 2 things, right? Why you're interested in that topic, as well as a wondering that you have. Okay, so an example maybe would be the Big Bang, right? Beginning of everything. Why? Well, I'm curious about how the universe as we know it began. And a wondering I would have would be, how do we know maybe how long ago it happened, right? Is there evidence for that? That's an example. Take some time to look through all these topics and pick, again, 2 that jump out at you. But there's some trailers. Go ahead and watch those. Look at some websites. There's plenty to kind of explore and start sparking curiosity. That is number 2. Item number 3 is the scientific process play posit. Okay, so we did a play posit last week. We're doing a different one this week that should be reminding you of how science works, right? What is its purpose? How can we use science to solve problems, but also to kind of explain the world and universe around us. That link to the play posit is on Google Classroom. Should be here, should take you right to the video. You just watch it and answer the questions. That is item number 3. Number 4 is a little more complicated. And so there are multiple slides or slide presentations here. I am actually going to be spending time in class presenting these, okay? But what you can do before our meeting times is to kind of get a sense of the overall. And so the overall goal with number 4 is to use the scientific method or scientific process to solve a STEM challenge or engineering challenge, right? So it's called STEM Challenge 2020. So you can look through these slides. Definitely watch the hype video on your own. It's kind of explaining everyday science or how we use science every day. I will be presenting these, right? You'll get the 6 steps of the scientific method in the play posit, but we'll reiterate. The choice board is going to be the challenges that you will choose from. So you'll end up choosing one of these, examples of creating the tallest freestanding tower that you can build out of aluminum foil, right? but there's 7 other options. Again, I will be going over those in detail in class. What you will be responsible for doing is filling out your own copy of the student slides. And so, again, this is going to be later in the week, but you can kind of start peeking through. You will have your own copy of this on Google Classroom. Okay, so if you were to click on the actual assignment title, you'll find your own copy of the slides, but that is what you're going to start filling in. You'll have to write the question that your problem is trying to solve, right? Like, how can I build the tallest freestanding tower out of tinfoil possible? You will then also do some research. That research is going to include messing around with materials, kind of using the internet, using some other sources to find out maybe the best way of doing your problem. You will create a hypothesis, right, that you can test, and then you'll write out your experiment, you'll do your results and a conclusion. So I will go over this in class. You don't have to worry about trying to fill this in yet. Definitely not until the second time we meet next week. But that is an intro, and that will carry over to next week, that challenge, just because there's multiple steps to it. Okay, that is the weekly agenda for this week. So 4 items on the agenda. The 4th one is going to go into next week, so don't really get moving on that until we meet in person, or rather virtually. And so, as always, you can email with questions. If a link doesn't work, definitely let me know as soon as possible. But thank you for your time, for watching the agenda video, and I'll see you in class.